never heard that, but that's the origin of CAP. I'm going to look this up. I'm going to look.
There's a principle that
Right.
we have to follow.
Yeah.
We have to have.
Be true to yourself. You don't have.
And when I came back, the place was a mess. So I knew I was a mess.
Deep in here now. Now
It's incredible.
I love it. Me
That's
too.
good.
Yeah.
That's good.
And applying the recovery, I thought.
Hey, I never know where to look now. I'm Honesty Liller. I am the CEO of the McShin Foundation and a woman in recovery since May 27, 2007. A long time, 18 and a half years. Recovery rocks. Woo! I don't get the opportunity to come on the podcast, but my friends here, we have special guests, so I definitely wanted to host this one to have a real authentic conversation about women in recovery, what they're doing in Winchester, how they got there. And I always chime in too, because y'all know me. So I'm just here to be the host and have a great time, a great conversation, and to talk to my guests. So we have Julie and Meredith here from the Recovery Connection. So just a backstory a little bit. I met you through Hannah, I think. Hannah Newsom from a long time ago.
Yeah.
So they're from Winchester, Virginia, and a little place called Edge Hill. And they're not from Edge Hill, but there's a place called Edge Hill in Winchester, Virginia. And that it was a recovery rehab type environment. And that is where I met my husband. Woo! Over almost February would be 20 years ago. I can't even. 20 years ago. That's just
Y'all better
amazing.
have a party.
Yeah, I know. We'll go busting Debbie's like, hey, 20 years. So with that, if y'all would like to introduce yourself and kind of what you do as far as like your role, and then we'll dive in like deeper on how y'all do it.
Okay, awesome. You want to go first?
You
Or me?
go, girl.
Okay. My name is Meredith Speir-Cavalier, and I am the co-founder and executive director of the Recovery Connection in Winchester. And similar to Honesty, I'm a person in long-term recovery. I've been in recovery for over 16 years in a row. I got my start at Edge Hill.
All right, Edge Hill.
I'm forever grateful for the beginning of my journey. And I pretty much do all of the things at the Recovery Connection. So the executive director, you get to see the really, really amazing things like clients commencing treatment. We're about a 45-day residential program, and we also offer intensive outpatient treatment. So I get to see the miracles that happen. And then I get to put out fires often as the executive director, but really just overseeing, administration for the organization, marketing, admissions. I still handle a lot of the admissions calls. That's been something I think that's been important to both of us is, we've grown some over the years, but we always want to feel connected. We want to know, who our clients are, how many days in recovery they have, how they're doing in our program. So we've always tried to stay really, really involved with the organization. And we literally started it from the ground up.
I love that.
It started as an idea. It really came about from a painful situation in my life. I had a loved one that was using. Julie and I are best friends too. And we are still best friends, even though we own an organization together. I think but the idea really came about from a loved one that couldn't stop using. They were on medication assisted treatment. I called rehabs up and down the East Coast. There was nowhere for this person to go. And, Julie was my friend. I was calling her and probably venting and complaining. And I think I jokingly said one day, I wanted to open up a detox in Winchester, Virginia. That's starting really, really high.
Yeah.
And then Julie basically said, what are we waiting for? And we took 9 months to figure out like what we wanted to do, how we wanted to do it. Started as a non-clinical sober living program. And we realized that our clients needed a whole lot more than what we were doing. So today, fast forward, we offer a 45-day program, PHP, IOP, of course, the residential component and intensive outpatient treatment. And we just celebrated our 7-year
That's
anniversary.
amazing.
Yeah.
Congratulations. This business is hard.
It is.
For sure.
Yeah, it
And then
is.
y'all navigate all the insurance stuff. We don't do that here.
Ooh.
So that in itself gives me a headache even thinking about it.
Yeah.
All right, Ms. Julie.
Well, hello, everyone. I'm Judy. I am the other co-founder and director of business development for TRC, Person in Long-Term Recovery. God willing, on April 23rd of next year, I'll be celebrating, oh gosh, is it 18 years? Yeah, because I have 17 now. Yeah, 18 years.
Good
I'll
for
be a
you.
recovery adult.
Yes, you
Yes.
are.
Hopefully in April. So passionate for the work. When Meredith called that day back in I think it was late 2017 or early 2018. I was working in community mental health, the gifts of recovery, right? Like I was able to go get my college degree, immediately started working out in the field. And I was like, she called me and I was like, let's go, and it helps a lot too, to have a partner, someone who has got your back all the time. And she's always had my back from day one. And it gives you that little bit of more confidence that you would have. Cause I know I have a problem with this thing up here that likes to doubt itself, So, having not only a partner, but your best friend being like, we can do this. Your biggest fangirl right next to you all along the way. But I think for us, it's a blessing to be able to serve. We work with only Medicaid, so those who have Medicaid, and a lot of the times having experiences where we can foster and provide an atmosphere where people feel seen, heard, and loved. Sometimes it may be for what feels like the first time for them because of just coming through yucky situations along their life journey. So being able to kind of foster that safe space is the days can be really, really hard, like you mentioned. But it's in those moments where you can watch the light come back on in somebody's eyes, or really, when you hear the feedback, I feel safe here. It's okay, this is our why, and I'm sure you have those days too, being in the industry where it's what am I doing? This is so stressful.
I've had 200 of those days. I've been here almost 18 years, January, working here.
100%. And then you run into a client or an alumni or somebody who's telling you how grateful they are. And you're like, okay, that's why. Yeah, that's why I do this.
Yeah. Well, my why is because McShin helped to save my life. So I came to McShin. So Edge Hill, I just met my husband there, but we used for about a year.
I was Edge Hill too.
Yeah.
Also.
Yeah. Woo. All right, Debbie.
And we all met husbands there.
Yes.
We did.
Well, we used for about a year together, and then I came to McShin, and he went. Well, he came for a day. We ran away, and John let me come back, but not him. He went to another place that we're not even going to talk about because it was horrible. But yeah. So now we've been together forever. But so unpack, if you don't mind, some of your story, especially. So this podcast goes out to over 1,000 jails, and those incarcerated get to see our awesome guests and get to learn about not just recovery, but just life, and get to hear stories. So specifically for the women out there, I do a lot of my podcast, which I barely ever host here, geared towards women, because there's so much going on in our brains and our minds than just don't use drugs, where society puts on us that we're maybe the breadwinners, but also the cleaning of the housers, the mom, the carpool, whatever, puts that glass ceiling above us, So for women that are incarcerated, I guess, really just unpack a little bit about your story, whatever you feel comfortable. And we don't have to do war stories, but just what kind of got you into recovery, because there's a lot of people still incarcerated that just don't understand recovery, and just don't understand they get their families telling them stop using drugs or alcohol or whatever. But that's not my jam anymore here. I don't really discuss that much. My more thing is, how do you want to live your life and become the human that you're meant to be? So my recovery's just evolved tremendously the past 5 years. So if y'all want to just unpack a little, how did you get into recovery?
For sure. I think I was sick and tired of being sick
Yeah,
and tired,
sure.
you know. When I used, Julie and I both, we go into the jails quite often across the state of Virginia.
Awesome.
And it makes my heart happy that they
Yeah.
get a shot of hope, you know.
Uh-huh.
And I've never been to jail. I absolutely
Me
should
neither,
have
girl.
gone to jail.
I haven't either.
I did so many felonies. I believe in guardian angels. Like
Yes.
with my daughter in the car, like just
Yes.
felony after felony.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
anyway, we walk our path to be here. You know, who knows what would happen if we would have gotten incarcerated. But
God was looking out,
Yeah.
right? But for me, like I use until I'm homeless, penniless, jobless, no healthy relationships in my life. And I was just sick and tired of it. You know, relapse is a part of my story. I had about 20 months in recovery and a struggle with codependency, right? So I was in a relationship and picked up and used again because I wasn't strong enough to walk away from that situation. So I was just tired. I was just tired. And I will say, I agree with you. Like women are underserved, I think. And that's something special and unique about the Recovery Connection, right? Because we take away at least that little bit of distraction for 45 days for our clients, because it's all females that are on their path to recovery. And
oh wait, y'all only serve females?
Only
How
females.
did I not know that? That is amazing.
Yeah.
Only
Oh
females.
wow. I mean, we love the men, but like that is epic.
Since day one, we've been women only.
Oh wow. I don't know. I thought when y'all switched to like full blown Medicaid. Okay, cool. Good for you.
we joke that we think men might be easier in some ways.
Oh girl, yeah, all these personalities and
well, we're women.
I know, but living in a recovery house, y'all know. I mean, it's another whole world.
Yeah, girl.
Yeah.
We know. We know. But I think that makes us special and makes us unique. And, you know, for the women that are incarcerated, their story's not over because they're still there. You know, there is hope. And I look at what we've built and what we've put together. Like you can do anything you want to do in recovery if you just stay the course. One day at a time, 5 minutes at a time. You know, I look at what we've built and it's like amazing. I never thought.
I mean,
that I'd be doing a podcast with these fancy microphones and headphones.
I know. That is beautiful. Yes. Awesome. What about you, Julie? How'd you get in?
Yeah. I'm so glad Meredith shared what she did, because like where there is breath, there is hope. Like I love that. And I, you know, there are so many times along my journey of not only in active addiction, but also in recovery where I couldn't see past where I was. Like the pain was so great. And I kind of have these like kind of markers in my mind along the journey of where like I remember being in that place and in so much pain and like not being able to conceptualize or think about anything else than where I was, you know? And then like hope whispered, like, it's not over yet, you know? And then fast forward, right? And we're here today. But for me, I barely graduated high school. And had a straight up intervention when I was 18. Like I should have been on the show. I was not on the show, but it was like literally what you see on there. And it kind of started for the next 2 years after that. I was just like in and out of treatment. I went to 5 programs. Like I'd go in, I'd get out, I get high, go in, get out, get high. And, you know, I reflect back and in times of working through my recovery, I was like, you know, I was only willing to change things where it was like within my comfort zone, like within just some level of comfort, you know. I was unwilling to be really uncomfortable and I got high every time, you know. And this last time in 2008, I OD'd and landed myself in a hospital bed in St. Louis, Missouri, where, you know, I was about 15, 20 minutes shy of like not being here anymore, you know? And honestly, the fear of death is what got me here, right? Like, it wasn't like I came into recovery like, oh my gosh, like I want to learn how to live and be like a productive member of society and like learn how to practice compassion in my relationships. I was like, no, I was scared to die. Like I almost didn't make it. But the beautiful thing about this process, you all know, is like, if we can just like not get high and take it one step at a time and put one foot in front of the other, it just works without our permission. Like that fear of death shifted into a desire to live, you know,
Mhm.
and a desire for all those things, like I mentioned before.
Yeah.
You know, and it wasn't one of those things like I hear people share, and it's everybody's their own stories of like, I knew when I was done.
Mhm.
I never really had that, you know what I
Mm-mm.
mean? Anything that I've stopped doing in my life, because you know, it's not just drugs, people, right?
Yeah. Oh,
I've
No.
got like this long,
Yeah.
lengthy list
Uh-huh.
of things. Like anytime I've turned something over, it's not like I have felt
Sure.
done, right?
Yeah.
I've literally just been in like a lot of pain and made a decision, right?
Mhm.
Like Meredith said, like 1 minute at a time, day at
Yeah.
a time, week, month, and you know, fill in the blanks. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's super cool because I know a lot of people same like have overdosed and is just scared and they laid in the hospital. We got some staff that
Mhm.
shares about that too. I overdosed when I was 17 and I did die,
Mhm.
and an off-duty cop came and
Mm.
gave me mouth to mouth until the Narcan came.
Mm.
Whole story. No one wanted to call 911. There were drugs on the house. Da, da, da. Anyway, a guardian angel came, and she told me. I called her back in beeper days. I had my beeper, and
Beepers.
I know I had a turquoise one.
Yeah. It's fancy.
But she said I called her and I
like
told
it.
her I was dying to come save my life. So we were having a party. Our friend was going to jail. So woo, give him a going away party.
Yeah, sure.
But he saved my life because if he didn't do mouth to mouth, I would have never been here. I was 17. That was a long time ago. And I came to McShin when I was 26. But I came to McShin to get, John knew a doctor. So I was dope. Like, I just didn't want to be dope sick. I was going to run away and like take the medicine. And me and my husband, well, then boyfriend, were going to get into recovery again after the millionth time.
This will be the one.
I know. Well, I had like, so guardian angels is what I talked about earlier. So like in that, it was a Sunday afternoon. I'll never forget this little doctor. I think he was like from the Bahamas. And I took back in the day, I don't know what your doctors prescribe, but back in the day it was like chalky orange, like high C taste in Suboxone or Subutex or whatever.
Oh yeah.
I took that out of my mouth. It melted in my hand and I was just going to bounce. And he's like, okay, we sit here for 4 hours until your symptoms go away. So I literally looked up to God, looked at my orange hand, and I put it in my mouth and I haven't used since that day.
Wow.
Yeah, I moved into McShin the next day.
Wow.
So I didn't have that come to like, I want to be in recovery and get my daughter back and like live this beautiful life. I knew nothing about what a beautiful life really was. I had a lot of childhood trauma stuff, and then a lot of stuff happened to me in active addiction. So being in an environment like you guys have been and what y'all are doing there with other women just trying to get their life together changed my life. I get interviewed so many times and they're like, what's the number one thing that you feel is the answer? And it's the peer-to-peer connection. Like I have no question, like the medicine and everything's cool, but the peer living with women just trying to get their stuff together. And also like the women before me. So like, I'm sure y'all remember, like back in the day when I came here, there was no women living in the house. We had one female house and 2 male houses. And then, well, it was like 2 ladies. Anyway, we're not going to talk about that. And then, in the 12-step community, there was barely any women like staying in recovery. So like the 12-step community adopted me. I wouldn't be alive if it wasn't for 12-step and McShin. But I don't know. It's cool meeting so many people that just have different experiences. Like some are incarceration, some their family made them do it, but they stayed. So it's really cool to like when you're out here listening to all of these stories. Like we have 3 different stories, even though we're 3 women in recovery, right? So I did like a 10-day detox here, and then I didn't have no money. I had 2 garbage bags of clothes and 1 photo album. I don't even know how. Like anyway, it's a long story, but came here and then John, like I didn't have bed fee and all that stuff. So I was pulling weeds. John taught me how to paint houses. I was just doing all kinds of odds and ends. So I don't want to hear it. So, and I had 3 jobs when I lived here. I just raised my hand in a 12-step meeting and said, so I was filing, cleaning. It was just a lot. In the early days, just thinking about it and like really resonating that, 18 years ago, how much my life was just different walking through these doors. And how much McShin is. Now we have 14 houses. We have babies, women and children. Do y'all ever want to do children? women and children. It's hard. It is really hard, but it's beautiful.
I bet
you
it
got
is
an
beautiful.
announcement?
No,
Oh, damn. I was like,
no.
okay, referrals.
For now, we're gonna send them
them
to
us
you.
straight. Well, we're
Yeah.
full. We have 5 babies.
Aw.
All under the all but that house leader girl. God bless her. So she's our only full-time paid staff, like house leader. So that lives in Destiny. We do full-time paid staff there. But yeah, 5 babies. 2 of the moms had like 4 weeks ago had their babies a day apart. So all the babies are under 1 right now. So 5 moms and 5 babies.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, just to see, and like some of the moms still come up here, the alumni come up here and hang out and give back to the house. We have we're getting ready to start a new curriculum for that house specifically. We're partnering with VCU, School of Medicine, and School of Nursing. Social work. So one of our board members is amazing, Faye Chow-Mal. So she's been volunteering for years, and now her focus is really strict, like majorly on Destiny House. So we're going to be getting our own studies done for Destiny House in order to, our ultimate goal is to open another one. There's a waiting list. There's so many people.
Yeah.
There's not many places at all here in Richmond for that. Is there places in Winchester? See, we try to find as many referrals as we can, because I know Lynchburg has one, Roads to Recovery or whatever, but they did. I haven't talked to Kali in a while, but hopefully they still do. Okay, well, if you ever do, let me know. I can give you tons of tips and all of our information, like our phases and everything. But it has been able to just be a beautiful process to see that. Like that was my legacy. Like I always wanted to open that here, and now it's been 2.5 years, and it's named after my daughter Destiny House because of our story.
I was gonna ask.
Yeah. So, if you don't know, like when I was 21 during my heroin addiction phase, life for 9 years, I got pregnant with her, and I thought I would stop using because I was taught, even though I had a lot going on in my childhood, like God gave you gifts and the babies were gifts. And no, I used my whole pregnancy. So she was born substance exposed and in the hospital for 2 weeks. Yeah, it was pretty rough. I mean, I forgive myself. We're in a completely different place now, but it was hard. That was the hardest thing. And I tell the women and moms and anyone that I ask or get in contact with, that's the hardest thing that I recovered from in my recovery. It took me years to forgive myself, even though we do step work and all that when I was doing 12-step, and I tried really hard, and it just took a long time. She was the last person I made amends to.
Right.
Yeah, out of that huge list that I had. So we brainstormed, and I talked to the team because I didn't want it to be about me. And they're like, yeah, Destiny House. So I've worked my butt off before we opened it for years, like a couple years, and toured different ones in other state. Carly's Summers. I don't know if y'all know her, Andrea's house. She's a little bit like in Maryland. Amazing program. She's been one of my biggest mentors. So I went and toured that, and she helped me. She gave me all the rules. I just tweaked it kind of like what McShin does. And it was hard in the beginning. Like I just, I was told find money. And one day I was sick of being told that. And I just told Jesse, we're opening the house and we'll figure it out. So if they needed to pay bed fee, they needed to be paid. Then VAR had all these grants back then, and not all, but there's capacity expansion or whatever. So I did it, and we got $120,000 for Destiny House.
Wow.
And then I've just been applying. We just keep getting them and keep getting them because, people like to donate to children and dogs.
Yeah.
So that's all my money goes. McShin and my mom works for the Virginia Beach SPCA, so that's where all my money goes to. I guess also, like, while y'all are here, can you unpack like what a day-to-day, like how do people find you? Number one, I know we're going to put the website up, but like what is your referral and admissions? And then y'all can each unpack like what you feel a woman gets out of your services.
Sure. So if the website, will be linked here. Really all you got to do is call us.
It's so pretty.
Thank
I love y'all's colors.
we love it too. We love it. There we are. But
y'all have such cool, beautiful pictures of yourselves.
That's our friend Misty.
She makes us look pretty.
Yeah, she does.
But I know a lot of times, like when someone needs to go to treatment, that making that phone call is really hard.
Yeah.
So if you're struggling, just call us, talk to somebody. And even if we aren't the right program for you, we can help you on the path to finding the right place. But really all they need to do is call. A lot of times folks are coming to us from a higher intensity program, like a 30-day intensive inpatient treatment program, and then stepping down to the Recovery Connection.
Okay.
And we do a pre-screening over the phone. It takes about 20, 25 minutes. And of course, our medical and clinical team reviews that documentation, and then we try to get you as soon as humanly possible. And we're a 45-day program. What was the other question that you were asking?
I'm going to ask, how many beds do y'all have?
16 beds, and then we can accommodate up to 8 clients in our outpatient.
Okay. The other question is what do they get? Like when a woman comes in, what do they get?
Yeah.
I don't say for their dollars because Medicaid. I guess taxpayers. What do we get to help them? I guess.
Yeah, for sure. So of course they're going to get the treatment, right? That they need, the clinical care that they need. Some of our staff are in long-term recovery, and some are not. And truly, I love that mix.
So, I
right.
love that. Yeah.
Really, to work at the Recovery Connection, you just have to have a passion for working with people that are struggling and in a vulnerable place in their life, know? So of course our clients receive the clinical care that they need, medication management, case management, going back to the power of the peer. We have certified peers. Yay. We have 2 certified peers on staff, because we do believe every path is different, right? Some of our clients really need that clinical care. Some of our clients find value in the peer sessions. And we do a lot of holistic healing. I'll let Julie speak to that. We do a lot of yoga, mindfulness, meditation. Our clients can get Reiki, which is energy healing, towards the end of their stay with us. So we really want to provide our clients with all of the pathways, and then they take what works for them. We're not, Julie and I are from 12-step background. We don't force that, right? It's really open-ended, because every journey and every pathway is so, so very different.
Yeah.
But we believe they're not, our clients are there to get treatment for their substance use disorder. But, our vision is heart-centered care for all. We want to provide them with an experience. And oftentimes this is not that person's first time through treatment, Sometimes it's the second, the fifth. And we always believe in second chances, sometimes 30-second chances.
Yeah.
You don't
have to tell me.
Yeah.
In my first rodeo, I came back here twice, but we've had a bunch of people that have been here several times. Yeah.
It often doesn't stick the first time, and that's okay.
That's very few people. John's one. He went to 12-step and never used, but there's very few people that have just done it once and move on. Yeah.
We like to learn the hard way sometimes.
Yeah, that's all right. Well, it's just our brains and our emotions are not ready to heal right then, and that's okay.
And it's a lot at once,
Yeah, I mean, especially programs like y'all's seems pretty intensive too, and we have when I lived here, it was just don't use, go full of weeds, live, you know what I mean? And then now it's they have such a beautiful array of yoga. They do the Reiki. I forgot about that. I've done Reiki a couple times.
Yay.
Yeah. I'm going to ask a question really quick about that. So this lady, not the lady that does it now, but back in the day, they used to come in here and do Reiki and oil massages on us. Anyway, it wasn't weird. But she told me, and I never asked anyone about this. She told me from her house. So I used to go to her house some too. She's like, I'm going to do a Reiki session, and then in a few hours, I'm going to send you energy from my house. Yeah. Is that real? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know your boy Jason would believe that. But
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so Reiki stands for Universal Life Force, right?
Okay.
And Life Force is everywhere. And so as a practitioner, I'm not giving you my energy. We're drawing from, the Universal Life Force. I usually say we're battery chargers as practitioners, right? So there is such a thing as long distance Reiki. You can send Reiki.
Okay.
I could do a virtual session with you in Richmond and me in Winchester, and you still receive the exact same benefit that if I had my hands on you, you know? And then same thing, you can Reiki spaces, you can Reiki points in time. You can, I know that might be getting a little out there, but
that's Back to the Future stuff there.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, what else do y'all provide? I know,
Mm-hmm.
I've been following you for years on social. I know you're super holistic. That's what I do now for my personal pathway. So I was in 12 step for about 13 years.
Yeah.
And it's just not part of my patchwork right now. So the past about 6, I joined She Recovers. I know y'all know about them, right? Hopefully. Oh my gosh. So She Recovers is a national organization for women and non-binary people.
Oh wow.
So it's they've been around a long time. Definitely follow them on your social. There's free stuff for your clients. I think it's like 2 groups a day via Zoom.
Oh wow.
I'm the only that I know of certified professional enrichment. So I provide a support group for women and non-binary people. It's actually this Thursday night. But I learned more, now I know a little bit more about Reiki, so she won't be tripping. But I do ice bath, sauna, exercise. I do meditative coloring every morning. I do my Geshe, my crystals and stuff. And I journal every morning, and I read from a Buddhist book every morning. And then I do manifestation and pray. I do a lot every single morning.
Yeah, sure.
And I have gone on this more spiritual, holistic approach. I'd be dead without it, but that's just not my jam anymore at this point in my life, at least. So yeah. So I love that y'all provide different pathways. Like a lot of our people, when I do I don't do as many groups as I would like to do, CEO life, but when they do their exit plan, so when they leave or when they're transitioning into sober living, a lot of them love the recovery dharma, which is the Buddhist thing too. So it's just cool being here so long and seeing so much evolve, like just for the recovery human being. So anyway, I just took that over. So I haven't done a podcast in forever, so y'all can
You're doing an amazing job, honestly.
What is your holistic approach like do you offer? So you're an actual practitioner though, right? Okay.
Yeah. And similarly, right? Like a co-founder, director of business development. Like I always tell the clients, like if I could do Reiki and yoga all day, I totally would. But a lot of my role too is in networking and, building relationship and learning about places that are out there and making sure that like people know about us. And, so I've been doing a lot more traveling lately and intend to keep that kind of going. So I do a lot more of the kind of like business development side, relationships external to the company. And my favorite, I love to connect with people. I love to meet people and build relationship. But my favorite is being able to teach yoga and offer Reiki sessions, I think like the recovery connection is obviously intentionally named, right? And that TED Talk, oh gosh, the guy's name is slipping.
About the rat, rat city or
connection is the antidote to addiction.
Yeah.
Gosh, I'll remember as soon as we end this.
I know
podcast.
what he looks. I can see him right now.
I know.
I forget his name too.
Johanny.
Yeah, something like that.
I've seen that Rat Park. I've seen that on YouTube so many times.
Yeah, and that has played out in Meredith and I's personal lives, and connection is where it's at. And so what I think is so powerful to think about too is like when we're in active addiction, we are completely out of our bodies, right? We're experiencing trauma, which disengages us from ourselves so much. And a lot of the times, the ladies that we serve have complex trauma, like not just a little bit, like a lot of it, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of it, like, when you are so busy up here, you can get in the car and drive to your next place and like not recall the drive at all because you've been
I just did a TikTok about that.
Yes.
I just show up in my driveway.
Right.
I'm just like,
how did I
of course I got attacked. You need to pay attention driving. Shut up, you trolls.
I know.
Yeah.
And so, like how can we heal and recover in spaces and places where we don't feel safe, right? And so as an organization, fostering an energy of safety is so important, but also we have to foster an energy of safety within our own bodies.
Totally.
And that also means coming home to our bodies, right?
Yes.
So like,
preach, sister.
I know. Well, and I still do. Shoot, I probably do it worse than anybody. It's kind of like why I need to practice it all the time.
Yeah. How do you, like, when you go home, since like, I know for us, like I'm not a practitioner of that. I just use it in my life, but I know I've talked to and interviewed and been friends with massage therapists, yoga, especially trauma informed yoga therapists. Like how, if there's which there is professionals watching this too, out in the field, like how if you could give some tips on like how do you cut that off? And I know we don't do it perfectly. I know I can't do it perfectly. It's hard when you're and that's y'all's baby, you know. And I feel like McShin is my baby. We've helped build it too, so it's really hard to say. I do it a lot. I like the word no. It's a full sentence to me now, but it took me years to really have that full sentence.
I am very much in the middle of that
Learning how to,
transition
like,
of my life. Yeah. And I'm part of the prison yoga project, so I get to teach at RSW. Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I'm teaching tomorrow, actually.
Is it the pod that we do, that our recovery program?
I don't think it's all the recovery program. I think it's kind of like a separate, you know, because Meredith and I go in there into like the pod.
Yeah.
But then, you know, I teach the men and the women at the jail too.
Oh,
so I've just started that recently, and that's been really, really
Is
awesome.
it trauma like specific? Because I've never taken like trauma informed yoga myself. I've just taken yoga, and I know that there's two different things, and I know we pay people here to do it for participants, so
it's not necessarily a specific like certification that's required in order, but really just mindfulness about like how you set everybody up in the room, like being mindful. I don't close my eyes in meditation, make other people very well aware that I am present in the room, I'm here, I'm watching.
That's
you know,
smart.
so you're establishing safety.
Wow.
But I think like my personal practice has, just like anything, like it just continues to evolve. Like 12 step was part of your journey and is now shifted. I am still involved in a 12 step and have layered in, you know.
Totally.
But it just, so my actual practice continues to just upgrade or shift. And well, I you know, there's been times too where I've like dipped out and like I used to have a meditation practice every morning. Well, right now I hit my knees and pray, and that's what you're getting in the morning, you know. And it's like life has just been like a lot busier. My husband and I have 5 kids, and everybody is mightily busy.
Bless you there.
Right. But you know what's been in my current, like what has been really like my saving grace lately is, I know it sounds silly, but walking, mindful walking.
And paying attention to everything around you.
Attention.
I walk every day.
Looking around, like,
not in the snow and the rain.
Practicing like a walking meditation. I practice almost every day, and that's very much a meditation, right? And I'll even catch myself like grabbing for my phone, and then I'm like, oh nope, you know what I mean? I came across, so my yoga mentor who taught me, she turned me on to this podcast. It's by you would love it, a Zen Buddhist monk who studied under Thich Nhat Hanh. And it's called The Way Out is In. So I listen to podcasts every my walk, except for the days like, so I don't do. I've been trying to figure out how to meditative walk. I don't even know if that sounds right. So I walk 2 miles a day because I have to walk my dogs separate. That's another whole book for another day. No. It is just they're spoiled rotten, but they are lunatics together. And I listen to podcasts. That's what I do, is listen to podcasts. So when we're done, remind me of that, and I want to just put that on my Spotify. For sure.
So I guess also for tips of like, for both of you, how is it? And I won't keep y'all too much. I know you have a long trip. They're like 2 hours away, right?
2.5.
Yeah. Oh, dang. So just one more. Well, this is the big question.
Oh boy.
So how do y'all? So just as
No
women
pressure.
in recovery, well, it's easy because I mean y'all are so authentic like me, so it's nothing fake about it. But like being a mother, being a business owner, and your personal recovery. So like all of our team for the most part are in recovery here, not all, but mostly. And it's, you know, I hate the word burnout. I don't ever use that, but just like exhaustion of helping human beings. If you could give some tips out there in case someone that watches this wants to go into this field, because I've learned the hard way, like 1000%. I neglected my husband. I neglected my kids, especially in the early days of McShin when we had 3 houses and 800 events and there was no money or funding. And it's like, we need to get out there, be the voice. And now it's just like, I have such an amazing team that I can say no to a lot because I don't need to be, you know, McShin doesn't need to be the winner of everything. You know what I mean? It's like, we love what we're doing and we've been doing really, really well. So just some tips there on like, how do you function with all of our roles that we have?
We have a lot of experience on that.
Yeah.
You got another hour?
What came to mind though when you were asking that, Honesty, is first and foremost for me, I have to remind myself to be present in each and every moment. because the work will never be done,
Yeah.
right? Like we could stay up 24 hours a day and the work still wouldn't
Yeah.
get done, but it's being intentional, right? So when I'm at home, I need to be present with my husband or with my daughter or with my dog, right? So being, I know,
I'm so obsessed
my dog's
with
like
them.
the most loyal thing
Yeah.
ever. But being intentional about being present in the moment. And what has been big for me is I have to work my own program of recovery. I think I thought, oh, we're going to start this and it's just going to be great. And I'm going to get all in the feels all the time. And it's going to keep me on fire for my recovery, which yes, there are moments where that happens. But like you were talking about, like the burnout, like it can be exhausting in a lot of ways. It can be beautiful and magical.
Totally.
In plenty of ways too. But I think for me, it's I have to have my own program of recovery, you know, which for me looks like going to meetings. I do yoga. I'm not as good as Julie. Like Julie can do a headstand and all that. I can do crow pose now.
That.
She can.
That took forever.
I've tried crow so many times. I mean, I do it for like a millisecond. But
Julie can probably help with that. But
I'm a yoga teacher now.
I know.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
certified. But really, it's just get on the mat, right? Like just do
something.
It.
Yeah, to take your
Just
mind
do
off
it.
of everything.
Slow down. You know, connection with God, connection with my friends, connection with my family. But yeah, just working in treatment or working in the industry cannot be my program of recovery.
Yeah, no, not at all. And that's what we teach our team. We do a ton of trainings and stuff here for our team too, because growing an organization, I know y'all's was smaller and different in the beginning where I met you in the beginning. I was like, I mean, it was just so much. And like, honestly, like, I don't even know how I made it through. Like, honestly, like it's just so much. And you like the empathy piece when people are dying and you take that on, and then the family members that have lost someone. So it's like so much emotions come into helping human beings, and then human beings with SUD, and then moms that, you know, don't have their children and they want to get their kids back, and yada, yada, yada. So I do presentations all the time about like everyone. I don't know about you, if they ask you, what is balance to you? I don't believe in balance. I stopped believing it about 4 or 5 years. It really, when I started all these other practices, I believe the same thing as like what that's not my phone. Whose phone is that? Y'all's phone. No,
Mine's
it's all
on
good.
silent.
Yeah, it's fine.
Mine.
Maybe it is mine.
It's God.
Maybe it's my other phone.
No, it's all right. Well, I didn't know. I was like, wow, we can hear the phone in the hallway. But you can cut that or not.
Steve
we do
can edit
bloopers.
that.
I don't care. We can have it in. But it's really like you said, being present. You know, it's a lot of pressure, especially y'all are the owners of the company.
Yes.
Like as the CEO, I got to make sure we have money and raise money. So it's like, it's just a lot. You know, there's no steady, you know, a big billionaire say, here's billions of dollars for years and years. You know, it's constant. So what I've had to learn is like put my phone away for sure, like at night, and just like little things that I incorporate, whatever resonates with everyone. But it's really, I just don't believe in balance. I just believe like if my kids are in front of you, which is really rare because they're 16 and 20, almost 24, it's like I'm going to be focused on what they're saying for the most part, unless it's like, you know, you got 5 of them. So what are your tips?
Oh gosh. Well, I would have to say too, like I have experienced burnout, you know, a couple of years ago, I kind of crashed and burned, and that's kind of like raw and real. And it was brutal. And I'd say in a lot of ways, I'm still recovering from it. I mean, it's been a long journey of it. So it is so real. And I think I'm so grateful because in the beginning, you know, it was me, Meredith, and our, you know, we had a live-in house manager in our home. And like for so long, we did everything, obviously, right? And then even as we like grew and evolved, like we were like doing all the things, right? And so now we have like this amazing team of just really learning how and like training myself over time to just like really trust and like let go. You know what I mean?
I love doing that now.
I've almost kind of been forced to, you know, because of my health. Like I like literally.
Same.
And so just learning to find that balance too, right? Because that can kind of go the other way where I'm too far removed. So it's like this dance all the time.
I feel that.
And I think, you know, kind of going back to, you made like a comment about like people pleasing and no, like I have had to learn how to set better boundaries with my time, and like not equate, like if I say no to a meeting and try and, like I'm not able to do it, instead of forcing to squeeze it in, which I do still do
Let's
sometimes.
talk about that. I
Yeah.
just talked about that this morning with
And-
another
Yeah.
woman, a mentor. Anyway, a
And
friend
it's
of mine.
this story of like, I'm a failure. I'm not doing a good job if I don't jam pack my schedule to the point where I can't function.
Yeah.
It's like this, we live in a society where that's looked at, especially for women, women entrepreneurs, women leaders. Like if you are not killing yourself and hustling, like, then you're like not getting it. You're not doing it, and so I've really just been trying to fight that story, or surrender that story.
Sure.
Right.
Oh, I love that. Surrender it.
Yeah. And when we were, Meredith and I worked so much in the beginning. Like so much, like I don't know, 60 hours a week, something like that.
I get
And
it.
I missed a lot of, like, my kids were really, really young, and I missed so much because I wasn't present. I wasn't with them. I'd be like on the computer in the kitchen, just like trying to, and they're playing in the background and I'm not paying any mind. And, the kids are all at incredible ages where I don't want to miss a practice. I don't want to miss a game. I don't want to miss,
either.
And so like what I miss now is substantially less than what I used to miss in those first few years. And it, it got us to where we are,
1,000,
right?
Exactly.
But I'm grateful we're here now.
Yeah, I know. And I think it's also, for me, it's like I've gotten wiser since I've gotten older. I don't know what your age was, but I was 26 when I came into recovery. So it's like, but they say it's your brain. So I was really 12. Like I still have like short-term memory loss. Like I did a lot of drugs for 14 years, like a lot of psychedelics and a lot of that. Or we were just talking about fish and everything and like nitrous balloons. And I don't recommend. But like my brain cells never fully developed. So like I have to look at myself and really understand like how much of a badass I am. And that's the stuff that I try to empower with other women, specifically the team here, the staff, of like, no matter what, like number one, we're alive, right? So I believe, that's my beliefs, this is the only life that I get. So I'm going to live it. But all those years of like missing stuff and like trying to cook while I'm on a computer, while I'm thinking about a spreadsheet, this is spreadsheet days. Now it's a lot different, but like building an organization with the help of John and board members and everything, obviously. But once we started getting really, and I say this all the time and people are probably sick of it. Once I hired Jesse, like almost 8 years ago, my whole life really started to change because I could trust 1,000% of another human being, kind of like y'all, of like, okay, she's going to get done. Like, because it's like the control and like, they're just going to mess it up and It's just, it was really hard to let that go. But you got to surround yourself with amazing team for me at home and my friends, like all areas of my life, because like, how I was living, and I'm sure y'all, I mean, damn, like, look how far, like, we have this little house, but I own it. Our kids are healthy and beautiful, and like the games, no, ma'am. All the Wyatt's, like, he's a travel baseball player, so we've been doing that for 9 years. Well, good luck. A baseball bats now are $400. Just the bats. You have that's why I started my company, guys. So I have a side hustle coaching business. I need another income just for sports.
I know. I'm grateful. My daughter doesn't want to play travel. I'm like, let's stick with rec.
Oh, travel is, but he loves it. He's good. So if he wasn't good, we would not sugarcoat nothing. No, bro. Like, no. He's really good. He's dedicated. He works out every day. He hits. He does. My husband built him a real batting cage in the backyard.
Oh, that's awesome.
My husband is a YouTube.
Yeah.
You know whatter. Yeah. He be YouTubing and making stuff. I'm like, what is like following directions, cussing, ripping them up? I can't do it. He's just really good at that. Anyway, so it's like, he just made the basketball team for his high school. So like all of that goes into my calendar, and then everything, it's like 4:30. So it's not like it's middle of the day, but like everything else gets, to the best of my ability as the owners, as the CEO, there is like board meeting, like stuff I still have to do, but I am with you. Like, I'm only going to have maybe a couple more years of him. Like he wants to go to college and stuff. And my daughter will hopefully be on her own in a couple of years too. So then we'll be complete empty nesters. I'll always have dogs.
Right.
But, I think empowering other people in this field, men, women, whatever, like that is important to have these real conversations, because people sometimes look at us like, and they ask, I don't know if they ask you all the time, which I want to wear a shirt that says, don't ask me how I do it all, because I don't know how either. Like I just do, it's just the human that I am. I get up at 5:30 every day. I go to bed at 8:30 every night. Like I have a schedule and I have a ton of stuff to do, but you gotta love what you do. So that's another thing. Like if it, and I can feel the love with y'all, but if I've been a ton of, even though the word sucks, but burnout here, wanted to quit a bunch of times, like all that, like it is just a lot of not just pressure, just, you know, with the disease of addiction and everything. But I'm in a great place, and I couldn't have said that a couple years ago. Like I'm really in a great place because I've really worked very hard on my spirituality, but also like, like I had a hysterectomy a couple years ago, and ever since then, I'm just like, no, I'm not putting up with certain things or certain people anymore in my life. I just refuse. So
it's a really important transition. I mean, I've like people on my team and Meredith hear me all the time about the like the hormonal. Yeah, I'm very 100. Much in that too. And I think that that's gone as far as my like burnout recovery. Like hand in hand, like I have had to set boundaries. Like I've literally been forced to do it because, you know, just like my overall wellness requires it, you know?
Yeah. Mine took a toll. I had like, four fibroids growing in my uterus, and it was right at Destiny House. So we opened it and there was a table like this, and I slammed my abdomen. So I thought I was so I got an MRI or whatever, the MRI and everything. And that's what happened. And then it's a long story, but I had it really young. It was on my birthday. Happy birthday to me. And then now I'm in post because it's a year after blah, blah, blah. But we'll get y'all back for another female conversation another day. Well, I've kept y'all so long. I could do this all day. And I know Steve loves it because I don't ever get to do them.
That's awesome.
But I guess parting words, we've been putting up your website. Everyone knows that. Just parting words for someone out there that's still using, someone that's incarcerated, or someone in this field. Just kind of like, you know, give us your approach on life and parting words.
You matter. You know, you matter. You're enough. There's help out there. Like, and Julie and I always believe like we're all in this together. Like the Recovery Connection, very different than the McShin Foundation. It's all needed across the state, across the United States.
The world.
So there's resources out there. There's help available. You just have to make that phone call, and that can be really uncomfortable. I don't know. Even, you know, I've been in recovery for a long time. I still don't like to ask for help.
Oh, that's another. We'll have to get
that's
y'all
a
back
whole other.
We'll do
10
a
more
podcast,
episodes ahead of us.
strictly
10 more
about recovery and just like all of this. Yeah.
I struggle with it, but you know, if you're struggling, there's hope. If we can do it, if the three ladies up here can do it, anybody can do it, and the sky is the limit. Like never ever. When I found recovery, you know, when I hit my bottom in 2009, did I think that I was going to like stay in the city of Winchester, Virginia? Like I'm from Northern Virginia, you know? Like I've stayed in Winchester. Did I ever think that I would be an owner, an executive director, a co-founder of a licensed treatment program? No, I would tell you I'm not smart enough. There's no way that I could have done that. And that for me just reminds me the sky's the limit.
Yeah.
You know?
I love that. I know, right? I lived in the house we still have. It's the first house I signed for, Smith House, and just living there. And like now, look, it's wild.
It's wild.
It's a lot of hard work, though. It wasn't given to me, and you got to work your butt off.
You're right.
Go ahead.
Those are also very important facts about the whole gig.
Yeah.
I guess my words are like, if you can't see beyond where you are, like just keep showing up, don't give up, you know, like kind of back to what I said in the beginning. I mean, there's been so many times where I couldn't see past the pain. Like I just couldn't, you know, like when I first got clean, when I overdosed, like when I made a decision to get help for my eating disorder, because I struggled with that, and had to get help with 14 months clean. Then I couldn't see beyond when my first husband passed away from an overdose. Like there were so many times where I couldn't see beyond, and, you know, I'm sure that's a feeling that's felt, you know, for those folks who are incarcerated. Like I cannot see beyond this, right? like hope whispers,
I love
it
you
does.
keep saying
Hope
that.
comes in quiet,
Yeah.
but it comes. And so as long as you're breathing, there's hope. And like Meredith said, like if we can do it, anybody can do it. And I know that's so cliche, but a lot of the times, like in the beginning for me, when I was so hopeless, I had to pull on your hope, like I was incapable of just birthing that right away. I had to believe that you believe. And that was just this natural evolution of the journey for me. And there are still days where like I struggle with various different things. I don't think, recovery doesn't equal like bliss in every moment, right?
Yeah. 100%.
So, and I think I fell victim to that. Like I kind of thought like, oh, I'm clean now. Like everything needs to be going my way. And like
everybody's gonna love me and give me
Yeah.
things and do whatever
yeah,
I ask.
I won't feel pain anymore.
Oh
and
my
like,
gosh, I've been in probably more pain in recovery,
Oh, yeah.
honestly.
Yeah. But like we're here showing up and actually living. I'm, like when we're out there, we're just trying to get through the day.
Sure.
Now we get to live in our days.
Yeah.
Right. So it makes it all worth it. You know? But
Yeah. Well, thank y'all for taking the hike up here. Thank y'all for all y'all do for RSW
Thank you.
jail and our jail
course.
program. I know Rob loves y'all and Cricket. And just thank you for being just a beautiful, powerful two women in the universe that are helping other women, like from the bottom of my heart and McShin's, but really me. I just love seeing just good humans doing good work that are ethically sound. And, you're doing it, for real, for the hope and like really in deep because you guys are in recovery too, but open to others that aren't, working for you. So I appreciate that. Learn more about the Recovery Connection. And we want to thank Steve and his friend over here, intern James.
Awesome job.
For all of
Thank
your
you.
hard work.
Thanks for coming.
And have a happy Thanksgiving.